on Google Hangout. You can find it on Macon.com. It is an effort for us here at the Telegraph to bring our Warner Robins candidates out there to you guys out on the go. Today's session will be fairly short, so you'll get back to lunch with time to spare. With us today are former Councilman Mike Brashear.
Good morning.
Also, we have Robbins Air Force Base employee Chuck Chalk.
Hello.
Former educator Eva Folse.
Hi, everyone.
Councilman Daron Lee.
Hello.
Recently retired Public Works Director Joe Musselwhite.
Hello, everyone.
And retired firefighter Randy Toms.
Hello, everyone. It's good to be with you.
So today I'll be asking the candidates 3 questions. They'll each get 60 seconds for the first question. You'll have 90 seconds for the final 2 questions. Candidates with 15 seconds left, I'm going to give you one of these. Oh. So you'll hear that noise when it's, or that sound when you have 15 seconds left. When your time is up, you'll get one of these. Okay? Does anyone have any questions?
No.
Okay. Well, for our first question, we want you to tell us a little bit about yourself, some bio information for those that don't know you. We'll start with Mr. Brashear.
Thank you. Now it's afternoon, so good afternoon. I'm Robert Michael Brashear. I was born in a small town called Alpha, Florida. Grew up in Panama City, Florida. Joined the Air Force when I was 18 years old. Got married when I was 18 years old. And been happily married to my beautiful wife, Becky, for the last 47 years. We have 3 children, 6 beautiful grandchildren. And that's why we chose to live in the best place in the country to raise a family here in Warner Robins, Georgia. I have 39 years worth of business management experience, starting on the manufacturing floor when I was very young, progressing all the way through a senior vice president of operations position with the major aerospace corporation. Was transferred in and out of Warner Robins over the years, and 2 different times before we chose to move back here and to settle here back in 1998. So I've been in Warner Robins a little more than 20 years off and on over the years, and thoroughly enjoy it. I went to school at the University of Florida. I've had business management courses at Troy State, the GE Court and Rail University Management School, where we had professors from Wharton, Brown, Harvard, Yale, and GE managers themselves. So I'm very fortunate and competent in program management and in management of people and management of business. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Brashear. Next, we'll have Chuck Chalk. Same question. Give us a little bit of bio about yourself.
Hi, I'm Chalk, and I'm a candidate for Warner Robins. And I've been here in Warner Robins for 13 years. About 27 ago, I entered the Air Force from Tampa, Florida, where I graduated high school, enlisted as an airborne Spanish linguist, served about 8.5 years, most of that overseas, in Panama and Herbert Field, Florida. I completed my business degree while overseas and then was commissioned as a second lieutenant in the Air Force active duty as an intelligence officer. I served another 11.5 years as an intelligence officer active duty both at Fort Gordon, Augusta, Herbert Field, Florida, Eglin, Florida, and then of course here at Robbins Air Force Base. 13 years ago I arrived here at Warner Robins, assigned to the Headquarters Air Force Reserve Command, and spent 2 years there, spent 4 years flying with the Joint Stars, Georgia Air National Guard and active duty. And I am married, 23 years, and have 2 kids and 2 grandkids, all living here in Warner Robins. I'm glad to serve you. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Chalk. Ms. Folse?
I'm Eva Folse, and I want to be the mayor of Warner Robins because Warner Robins is a unique city. It has a nickname of being the international city. We have lots of people from all over the world. living here, and all kinds of talents, and you could find any talent here in the city. I certainly fit that bill because I was born on a hospital British ship going over to England after the Second World War. My parents were Polish patriots being resettled there. They couldn't go back to Poland because of communism. And I feel I've traveled. Well, I married a serviceman, came over here in 1965. Then in 1978, I was naturalized as a U.S. citizen. We have 4 children. I've got a BA in economics from Georgia State University, graduate courses from Georgia College, in public administration. I've worked in insurance several years as a substitute teacher, own and manage rental property.
Okay. Okay, thank you, Mrs. Folse. And Mr. Lee, can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Sure. Hello, everyone. I'm Daron Lee, and one who's born a natural leader here in the area. I have held past positions as President and Chief Executive Officer of Loras Incorporated in Grand Terrace, California, Marketing and Communication Technical Associate with the City of Hope Beckman Cancer Research Institute in Duarte, California, Computer Resource Manager Specialist with Technical Management Services Corporation in Warner Robins, Georgia. Also an educator with the Department of Juvenile Justice, and now serving with Central Georgia Technical College as the Community Liaison Specialist. I'm a graduate of Fort Valley State, where I earned a BA in English, Professional Editing and Writing, also a Master of Science degree in post-secondary education from Troy University. Also, I am a graduate of Leadership Georgia 2012 and also the Georgia Academy of Economic Development. I have proven leadership, and I would love to serve as the next mayor of the city of Warner Robins. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Lee. Mr. Joe Musselwhite, can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. I was born here in Houston County in 1953. I've lived here my entire life. I've spent my life in the construction world managing companies. I even managed a ranch for 10 or 12 years. Went to work with the city in 1992. Have attended Carl Vinson Institute. I graduated with a National Certificate in Public Management. I serve on the State Public Works Board presently in District 8. I have a wife of 37 years, 3 children, 3 sons. 2 of them are married, 2 daughter-in-laws, and 2 grandchildren. I have relevant experience to manage your city with 21 years of management experience, hands-on operation of the city of Warner Robins. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Musselwhite. And finally, Mr. Toms, can we get a little bit of bio information about you?
Sure. My name's Randy Toms, and I'm 53 years old. I've been married to my wife Jane for 31 years. Together we have 2 children, 1 son who is married with a daughter, and then 1 daughter who's married with a daughter and a 2-day-old son. So I have 3 grandchildren. I was educated in Warner Robins. I went to elementary school, lived there all my life, went to elementary school, junior high, high school, and even college in Warner Robins. I went to work with the city of Warner Robins in 1985. I worked for 27 years as a firefighter, working my way up to a company officer, and retired. July was a year ago. I've taken many different leadership courses, and I think I'm prepared to lead the city of Warner Robins into the future.
Okay, thank you. Now we're going to go into our last 2 questions. Remember, you have 90 seconds for these 2 questions. First, we want you to tell us what you hope to accomplish as mayor. And again, we'll start with Mr. Brashear.
Well, first and foremost, I want to bring unity back to the mayor and council by providing leadership when some has been missing for the last few years. Second to that, I want to sit down with public service. I believe that we're short police officers and patrol officers, and want to work with Chief Evans to ensure that we put an incentive package in place that we can hire, train, and retain our patrol officers. Want to ensure that we get the fire station out on 96 up and operational and fully staffed with Chief Evans. And then progress from there, looking at how we interact with the 21st Century Partnership. Robbins Air Force Base is absolutely critical to us, and to rebuild the relationship between the city and the base. Following that, I'm going to pursue an opportunity to in economic development, looking at short-term ways that we can bring in revenue, generate jobs, and work as aggressively as a candidate within a region to look at opportunities to bring in major industrial capabilities. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Brashear. Mr. Chalk, can you tell us what you hope to accomplish as mayor?
Yes, thank you. What we will accomplish when I'm mayor is we're going to establish a vision for what Warner Robins, the city government, as well as hopefully the Robins region, working with our different partners to figure out what we're going to be, what we want to be in 2030 and beyond. Knowing that vision will help set a context of where we're going and get buy-in and involvement of everyone else so that we can move toward that. Next, policies, public personnel policies, a lot of the things we're doing in the city, make sure we're leveraging some of the best resources out there, whether they are the employees, which we have, certainly the best resource in-house, the information technology, making sure our policies are reflective of the quality of government that we want to have and we will have. Lastly, we want to, when we will accomplish growth in Warner Robins. Warner Robins and this region will become the best place for DoD and commercial entities to come in and do business. Whether it be aerospace, logistics, healthcare, anything else like that, we want to make this the best place to do business. We're already a great place to retire. We want to be a great place to do business as well. That's what we're going to accomplish. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chalk. Ms. Folse, could you tell us what you'd like to accomplish as mayor?
Well, my belief is that government that is close to the people is the best government. I served on Senator Paul Coverdale's Good Government Committee. I'm a conservative. I believe that I would be, my family is close to education. I would interact a lot with the youth here and try to inspire the youth to really to become anything they want to, just like I was as a child. I would promote the international aspect of Warner Robins, the arts and sciences. We have the Museum of Aviation. I support the projects that need to be finished. I think that creating a climate, a good climate, where business can locate here is important. We have to be careful that we don't give away the store either. Some people tell me that too much money is being spent by the city right now. So I would conduct an internal audit and see where we are, where we've been as far as what the budget was proposed and actual spent over the last 10 years. My 3 boys live here in town. We love Warner Robins. Senior citizens are dear to my heart, and so are animals. I'm a big animal lover. I have conducted pet therapy at nursing homes, and I list how much I volunteered.
Thank you, Ms. Folse. Mr. Lee, could you tell us what you'd like to accomplish as mayor?
Yes, I would like to accomplish the things pretty much that have been set forth out of the relationships that are already placed, the relationships with the different municipalities, building the relationships, as well as pretty much going forth with proven leadership with an effective government. You really want to accomplish things with strengthening the employee relationships, as well as, implementing project timelines, those things that have been put in place a couple of months ago with projects that have been on the table for quite a long time. Also, ensure some transparency in government by having those financial records brought forth on a quarterly basis, in the beginning pretty much a monthly basis, and utilize this strategic plans that we already have set forth, taking advantage also of the avenue of marketing by continue to collaborate with the different organizations here in the city that bring a lot of wealth. to this area and to this region, and pretty much take advantage of all of the boards that I do sit on, the relationships that have been built, the respect that I do have, pretty much put that into action so we can take the city to the next level. We have the respect, and it's our responsibility to take care of the well-being of the citizens. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Lee. Mr. Musselwhite, tell us what you'd like to accomplish as mayor.
Yes, ma'am. I will accomplish the first thing we're going to do is clean Warner Robins up. We're going to enhance the way it looks. We're going to get rid of the blighted structures around town. We're going to make the citizens proud for this to be their home again. We have a beautiful, good city that just needs cleaning up. I'm going to meet with the council. We're going to all get on the same page for the betterment of the people and their government. Government is about the people. We're going to meet with the department heads and the employees and find out any way possible that we can help them achieve the goals they have. We're going to be real responsible with the citizens' money. We're going to quit spending and tighten our belt a little bit and live within our means and still be productive and move forward. I was part of the biggest growth of any city in the United States in the last 20 years, and we're going to get back to that. We got a service area in Warner Robins where we can extend our utility services. We need to check that area, make sure the services are in place. You have to have them there to grow. We're going to work with the police department, public. It's my opinion that the problem there is systematic. There was a pay raise implemented a few years ago that didn't work out. I'm going to revisit that, and we're going to make sure that all the employees are treated like they need to be, and we can retain good people and retire from this city as I just did. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Musselwhite. And finally, Mr. Toms, could you tell us what you hope to accomplish as mayor?
Yes, the first thing I do want to do is I want to establish harmony and unity back into city government. I think that's critical for us all to work together to get things done. And as I say, together we can do better. I want to make sure that our community of Warner Robins is as safe as it can possibly be. Having been in public safety for the last 27 years, I know what it takes to bring about what needs to be done in the public safety arenas. I've worked hand in hand in the fire service and with the police department, and I have the unique ability to know what needs to be done in our departments to bring about safety. I'm going to make sure that every employee is treated fairly and everybody is fed out of the same spoon. I'm going to give our employees everything that we can possibly give them, knowing that we can't give them everything that they want, but I'm going to give them the respect that they have because it's a service-based arena. And without the employees being taken care of and being happy, the citizens are not getting the services that they deserve that they're paying for. I'm also going to help businesses that are already established in Warner Robins. How I'm going to do that is I'm going to meet with the businesses and find out some of the things that they need to make their businesses healthier, and I'm going to work to bring in new businesses so that they can increase the traffic that will also help our established businesses as well.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Toms. Our final question goes to our large array of candidates we have this year. There are definitely a lot of you. There are 6. We've had a tough few years, so teamwork and transparency seem to be a part of all of your platforms. But what specifically makes you the better candidate over your opponents? Again, we'll start with Mr. Brashear. You have 90 seconds.
First and foremost, I believe that every individual within our city is of equal value to one another. And every individual citizen within Warner Robins has value that they can bring to city government to help us do a better job than we have in the past. Everyone should be treated equally with equal respect. Secondly, I have the ability to work with people in a management position to build teamwork and relationships to collaborate on efforts to get tasks and projects done. Throughout my career in corporate America, if you can't work with people, you can't be successful. And my progression within corporate America has indicated and shown that I have the ability to work with people to get to successful conclusions. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Brashear. Mr. Chalk, tell us what distinguishes you from your opponents.
Thank you again. Great question. I've been with the Air Force for 27 years, enlisted officer and now as a civilian. 13 of those years have been on Robins Air Force Base. I've been supervising and leading people since my early 20s and continue to do so even in my current job. I've led small teams of 2, 3, and 4, and I've led large teams of up to 65 and 70, providing services up to people of over 400. Varied multiple services from logistics, supply, financial services. I've led teams before. I have the experience, but instead of just the experience, I also have some education to go with that. I have a bachelor's that I have some years ago. I have an understanding and a working knowledge of business practices. I've topped that with a master's in public administration from Georgia College just in 2010. So understanding governmental and nonprofit agencies and how to run things and the peculiarities that we have there, that's very useful. I'm now working on a master's in organizational leadership with an emphasis in change and development. So all of that education and the team experience and the budgetary knowledge that I have gained over 27 years and 13 years Air Force Base is going to make me a standout candidate here in such a large pool. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chalk. And Mrs. Folse, same question. Tell us specifically what makes you the better candidate over your opponents.
Well, out of the fact that I'm a woman and the oldest, I'd say I'd be the most mature. However, seriously though, my education and my life experience, the fact that I have a BA in economics, I understand the big picture of economics, what it takes to be a good city, to how to market it. I know the city inside and out. We're living here going on 44 years now, which is more than half of our life, and we love the city. I want to promote it, do the best I can. I don't want to make any promises that I cannot keep, but I'm applying for a job, and the people will decide, and they will be my employer. So I will be very connected to the people here, listen to the people, respect, put a friendly and compassionate face on the city of Warner Robins. Thank you for holding this forum and giving us this opportunity. I'm humbled to be among such honorable 5 other candidates.
Thank you, Ms. Folse. Councilman Lee, could you tell us what specifically would make you the better candidate over your opponents?
Thank you for the question, Christina. Indeed, I'm already in the House. I have more political experience in working with other municipalities. The city of Warner Robins they've invested money, invested their time in training, and I don't think it's a critical time right now where we should have someone who's already in the House who has the knowledge of how the government should work and in what direction the government is going in, and have the ability to bring other entities to the table, bring their positive to the table, in order to take the city to the next level with a regional approach. So it's critical with BRAC possibly coming in 2015 or 2017. The government wants to see some consistency. They want to see a rooted foundation of leadership, not such a large overturn in leadership. And with me proceeding on into mayoralship, that will prove to them that experience is in the House. Relationship with Robins Air Force Base is their relationship with other leaders in the area, corporations, as well as other entities who would be willing to come and invest in Warner Robins, Georgia, because of the relationships that already have been implemented. We would benefit as a whole from those relationships. And I'm already a step ahead. I already have the relationships, and I already have the time invested in the future of Warner Robins, Georgia. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Lee. Mr. Musselwhite, could you tell us what specifically sets you apart or makes you the better candidate over your opponents?
Yes, ma'am. All my experience, my education is a little different from some of the other candidates. My education is relevant to city management. I know the nuts and bolts of the city. I know the infrastructure of the city. I know each department's function. I know what makes the city work. The sad thing is there's no school you can go to teach you to be you to be an effective leader or a mayor. There is no mayor school. You need to know the subject that you're going to represent. You need to study that, study its laws, study its functions and its process. Government is to serve the people. I'm a public servant, and I look forward to serving the people. There's a lot of talk about tomorrow and what we can do together. We have a great city now. I want everyone to understand that. Someone mentioned about responsible spending. Spending needs to be stopped. We need to slow down on what we're buying, let the public be involved, and certainly the council and the departments, and get on the same page, tighten our belts, and live within our means here. We need to look into our contracts. The city has many million-dollar contracts. We need to make sure that the citizens are getting the best product for the price they're paying. I look forward to working with y'all. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Musselwhite. And Mr. Toms, tell us specifically what makes you a better candidate than your opponents.
I think there's a couple of things. I think, first of all, I understand the workings of the city of Warner Robins. Having been an employee for 27 years, working online as a firefighter, and a couple of years working within the office structure, partly as an educator, I understand what goes on within the city. I also understand this, though, that I don't know everything. And I think that's a big thing for being mayor of any city, but certainly Warner Robins, is that we have great department heads, great department directors, and I would work with each one of them and have that ability to work with each one of them to make their department better and to get them what they need to do their job. I think the other thing that sets me apart is my ability and my experience in working throughout the state of Georgia with other leaders within the fire service and other leaders in state legislation. And for example, today I watched Governor Deal give an incredible presentation here at the Georgia Fire Conference where I am in Albany, Georgia, and he talked about how to bring business in, and it's that kind of experience that I think sets me apart. Also, I've met with the mayor of Albany today, and I've met with the mayor of Columbus in the past and seen how they went about redeveloping their downtown area, which was in much need of redevelopment. And so I have some ideas on how to bring about that within the city of Warner Robins. So I think my experience in meeting people all over the state and bringing those ideas home to Warner Robins sets me apart.
Thank you, Mr. Toms, and thank you to all of you for joining us today. That's all the time we have. We'll meet here again October 10th to dive into the big city issues. You can submit your questions at macon.com/elections at the bottom of this video, on Twitter using hashtag #4 WRMayor, also on our Facebook page. You can follow me on Twitter as well at RightNow86. That's WRIGHTNOW86 for your latest on the campaigns in your Houston and county governments. Thanks again for joining us, and we'll see you here in a few weeks.
Bye-bye.